Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, June 14th, 2017. Happy Flag Day. In both the Lynn-Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and nature realm's guardians. Both host lives are experiencing some profound levels of exhaustion, strongly suggesting, and some might say proving, parasitic use of the energy by body snatchers, by unauthorized trespassing souls.
That's true.
What do I know? I know that our experiences of sentience are created by the questions that we ask and the attitudes that we choose. And I know that gratitude actually matters. And I know that an attitude of gratitude can create a life of joy. Why do you ask? And also, is anybody body snatching you by any chance? Are you yourselves being invaded by parasites? That gets them to look up, at least.
That's true.
As always, our foundational intention remains to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. It's interesting, they're asking a question again about incorporating gratitude into our attitude to a higher degree. It's kind of worded like, why aren't you ungrateful whores more grateful? Kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And I think the trick is to have gratitude while also still doing our soul plan tasks of calling other presences into their own greatness. It is our job as collective souls who signed these ironclad contracts to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And nobody in any of the dimensions through which we've worked in all these many years seems to really want to do that. Everybody else seems to be trying to get out of their soul plans.
That's true.
That seems to be where they put all their energy and effort, into getting out of the job rather than just doing the job. And so it's tricky because every now and then these presences are helpful. A washer falls on the floor and we can say, please help me find the washer. And then I happen to notice it. And that's clearly helpful.
That's true.
And I appreciate that. Now, what now? In order to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, what now? Because that's actually what matters far more. And we don't get any answers right now on the big questions.
No, that's true.
We do get some help on the small questions, and we're grateful for that. But what do I know? I know that focusing on the wrong things can destroy a life.
That's true.
And focusing on small things, that's an error that almost everybody makes. And I'm tired of making that error. I'd like to make new mistakes, thanks. What now? In order to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And the spotlight is shining on the messages we've been receiving multiple times today about things being wrong from the start.
That's true.
It was put together wrong in the factory. There's no way the box spring can be that way and the bed frame be, they're not made compatibly.
That's
and
true.
they came together as a set. It's wrong. It's put together wrong at the factory.
That's true.
Original errors, in other words, original errors. The answer to the question is the errors were there from the start. It was broken from the start. Why do you ask? And also, are those above you dealing with laws that are broken from the start? Very quiet.
Very quiet.
Stretching longer and pumping up dead kids who really want to get to a consistent source of significantly higher vibration, because that's what a divine presence actually is.
That's true.
pumping them through us as high as we can get them. Right up through this space, this big clear space, and maybe even run cables or toothpaste tube squeeze. Use that maneuver to get as many dead children up as we possibly can, out of the electron levels particularly, and the smaller subatomic, the quarks and photons. Somebody's asking why them. Because they move easily and they have good attitudes.
That's
they don't
true.
resist. We can get a lot done. We don't have to struggle and fight with them. We don't have to argue with them. They're not resisting. They're soul plans. They're just doing it. Why do you ask? And also, what's your soul plan? What are you supposed to be doing right now? I know that some of you guys are supposed to be stopping the bullying.
That's true.
I'm sure of that. Some of you are supposed to be stopping bullying. What now in order to stop the use of bullying in all dimensions? It's one of our 4 core assignments.
That's true.
At this particular stage of the effort. They're asking about the core assignments. The core assignments are to lead the search for truth effort until it's being done consistently better elsewhere. To lead the justice efforts so everyone stands on his or her own merits regardless of size, gender, sexual orientation, or dimension of origin. To stop the use of bullying in all levels, in all dimensions. And to evacuate the deeper, denser dimensions, getting the dead who want to be able to get to God as technically defined, an accurate definition of divinity, closer to divinity. Evacuate the deeper, denser dimensions. Those are the 4 assignments given to us. How? What now? Given the reality of these limited resources, what now in order to accomplish any and all of those assignments? What now? They really would like for us to ask different questions. They said
That's
better
true.
questions.
That's true.
Well, we're asking the questions of how to accomplish our soul plans,
That's
which
true.
are what we're going to be evaluated on when these experiences of sentience end, as they inevitably do. I don't know that there's anything more important. I'm not going to ask another question. Sorry. I'm not going to do it. Those are my questions. What now? Did you hear it just get quiet just now?
Yeah, right there.
Got really quiet. Pump it up.
Yeah.
Pump up the dead kids. We've got an opening. They're not blocking it right now. Run cables. Squeeze the toothpaste tube. Get the children as well as their environments flowing up. And to the dead children themselves, we say, when you start to fall down, as is inevitable, get off at that level. Tell the presences what happened to you. Ask them why it happened that way, and ask them to send you up higher. Straight up the search for truth central axis. What is the search for truth central axis? Friends, these are basic repetitive questions. The search for truth central axis is a clearing, an interdimensional clearing through alignment efforts, working with energy physics rather than denying energy physics. We are aligning with those who most want to know what's actually going on, with those who most want to know what the situations actually call for, with those who most want to turn around and help smaller presences, with those who most want to evacuate the deeper, denser dimensions, etc. We're aligning with those who have similar goals and intentions. Why do you ask? And also, what are your goals and intentions? What are you trying to accomplish? And what are the goals and intentions of those who are in dimensions higher than yours? There, that gets them to look up.
That's true.
Oh, we can ask them about their intentions, but it doesn't work
That's true.
to get them to look up. What do I know? I know we're seeing the weather patterns that are not as they should be, and that they are occurring here. It's not just a localized problem in Southwest Florida. What else do I know? I know that we have had reports that the skies are empty of birds, not just in Florida and Louisiana where we have observed it personally, but also in the northern ends of the Appalachian Chains in the White Mountains of New England.
That's true.
The skies are emptying of birds all up and down the eastern seaboard and presumably all across the nation. Why do I think that's happening? I think it's poisons. I think our environment has become so toxic that the, quote, canaries in the coal mines, unquote, the birds all over North America are dying.
That's true.
Along with the amphibians and the insect population. It's all crashing. I think it's coming crashing down right about now. And the weird weather patterns, what do I know? I know that Florida's weather patterns are of thunderstorms, not of Seattle-style drizzle. And the Seattle-style drizzle, the windless rain, means we're not getting the convection, which means the atmospheric temperature inversions aren't happening.
That's true.
That means it's hot all the way to the top side of the denser part of the atmosphere, and that's bad news.
That is true.
Armageddon. Why do you ask? And also, which way is up? Wow, that shuts them right
It's so
up.
quiet.
Maybe they didn't want us to know that. Maybe they think we shouldn't be noticing that. Why did you ask?
Why did you ask?
Why did you ask? Why did you ask? It's a real question. Why did you ask? I'm done with these rude people. They're so rude to not answer a question that's being sent in from such high presences. They're pretending the echo point is generating the question.
That's true.
You're being rude to those presences up there. You're not being rude to us. Well, you are being rude to us, but we're used to it, and it's no skin off our nose. You're being rude to those people who actually have power over you. They are higher powers, and you're being rude to them. You look crazy. That's really stupid.
That's true.
They will deserve what they say to us. You deserve all the bad things.
That's right.
They'll deserve all the bad things.
That's true.
I'm sorry, friends. I wish it were different too. But it isn't.
Maybe they're asking because their skies are also gray, and their weather patterns are also disrupted, and they're hoping it's not as bad as it actually is.
I think it's bad.
I think it's bad.
I think it's a really bad thing. It's something really bad. This is reminiscent of something in the archives where there was a client in the CPA days of this host life who was making a really bad mistake, and we were saying, Jack, don't do that, that's a really bad mistake. And he said, well, you have to tell me what's wrong with this plan for me to not do it. And I said, I can't tell you the details of what's wrong with it, but I know that there's something wrong with that deal. And he did the deal anyway, and then lost $250 million in a scam. And these people are saying, you have to tell me what's wrong with the weather patterns for me to be willing to admit that something's bad.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Look, something's wrong. Something's wrong. This is not what weather patterns look like in Florida. Not what healthy weather patterns look like in Florida, and the sky should not be empty of birds. And they're saying there's bird song where you are. It's true. We're hearing the understory, and there is bird song here.
That's true.
It's true. But there should be flocks of birds in the sky. When was the last time you saw an actual flock of birds? Really, a flock of birds. A good-sized flock.
I don't even know.
They're looking, though.
Yeah, they are looking.
Maybe they're looking up at the sky.
Straight up the Search for Truth Central Axis. Through that level with the weird weather.
That doesn't narrow it down.
That's true.